What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Off the Gridiron, your Apollo HOU Houston Texans podcast. My name is Noah Outlaw. I'm one of your hosts, as always. And as always, I'm here with Garrett Harrelson. What's up, brother?
What's going on, my man? How are you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. It's sunny. It's like 78 degrees, blue skies, sun's out in New York.
Raining here. Just drove in rain. Just drove in rain on the freeway for an hour. Just drove in a lot of rain. Yeah.
Sounds like a skill
it's
issue.
okay. It's okay. It's just the elements.
Yeah.
It's like football. You just got to play
Right.
in the elements. You
That's
can't
true.
just be like, oh, I can't do it. Nah, just do it.
No, you got to go out there, rain or shine or snow or sleet.
It's a man's game.
Tornado, hurricane,
the world is a man's game. Yeah.
lightning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sleet, hail,
Yeah.
tornadoes. I'm good.
What's worse than sleet? Sleet sucks.
Sleet's it's like annoying rain. It's more annoying rain. I guess it's kind of like hail, but it's like, oh, we're gonna get snow. No, it's sleet.
Just little thin pieces of ice falling from. Yeah, it's just
it hurts and it lands on the ground and it melts right away because the ground isn't warm. The ground isn't cold enough. It melts as soon as it hits the ground. So if you want to go outside and get pelted by the ice, wait for sleet.
Yeah.
So
But
welcome back to Off the Gridiron.
Guys, the 53-man roster has been finalized for the Texans. Dude, it's coming around the corner. It's August 29th. It's almost September.
Time of recording, it's Thursday, August whatever, and we're a week away from NFL kickoff.
Yep.
And then we're a week and few days away from Texans kickoff. So, of course, naturally, we have a full roster now.
Yeah.
So we have 53 reasons to talk about the Texans
53 reasons to wake up in the morning on Sundays. And
that's a bar. That's a bar right there. Hey, that's cool.
That's what I do. Yeah, I know. We're a week away from the Chiefs and Ravens kicking off Thursday night football. That's going to be an absolute banger. And then after that, just a few more days, and we see these 53 young men take the field. And I can't be more excited. There's been, there was a lot of talk on guys who would make the team for weeks and months. We've been talking about, certain guys who are on the cusp and what we want to see from them. And, and there's been a couple guys we've been talking about, a lot of them. And most of those guys ended up making the team. Most of those guys are here to stay on this 53-man roster.
Yeah, there's a few surprises, definitely. But for the most part, what we expected is what we got. We got what we expected with a lot of the roster, the final roster and positional groups. Yeah. There's a few surprises. It's quarterback, CJ Stroud made the team.
That's crazy, right? I was wondering if he was going to make the cut.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. So
yeah. No, he's got high. I think he has potential. I think he's just got to put it together.
Yeah, we'll see on him. Obviously Davis is the backup, Money Mills. And this is something I don't know how true this is, but I guess if you are a player for 10 years in the NFL, when you ultimately work as like a coach or something in the locker room, front office, whatever, if you had 10 years of NFL player experience, you get special benefits and bonuses. This is Case Keenum's 10th year in the NFL, and he's got put on IR. I think he was going to get cut. Naturally, he'd get cut in the situation, but we're giving him his 10th season. Give him his benefits and bonuses if he wants to ever become a head coach or a consultant or something. So he's on the IR and he's on the roster. That's class act. That's a classy move by the Texans organization.
Yeah,
taking care of our own.
Yeah, Case has been the Texans' kind of baby in a weird way for his entire career. Obviously, starting his career here, playing for U of H. Starting his career here, we had those in case we trust that era, whenever we thought he was going to come in and just change the league. Didn't end up happening. And then he goes and he has his time with Minnesota. He goes to Denver. He's been in Cleveland. Then he ends up coming back home, and it just feels right to have him on the team. There was no world where we were going to cut Case Keenum, and I think you're right about the coaching benefits, stuff like that. Just makes sense to put him on the IR, let him be a presence in the locker room for CJ, for all the young guys, because we have a really youthful team, and an older quarterback presence like that is extremely helpul to have in the locker room. So I'm happy he's around.
Yeah, you nailed it with saying his presence, because him and CJ were very close together
Yeah.
last season. They always working. And Case had no issues with coaching up CJ. He was kind of like a secondary quarterbacks coach. He was like a secondary offensive coordinator, even kind of like a running backs coach, receivers coach type, because he's been around for a long time. You know, I was watching him be one of the greatest college quarterbacks when I was in 7th grade. So he's been around in offensive systems a whole lot. He's basically not a head coach, but he's basically an offensive coach running around in the locker room on the sidelines. So having him back, you know, in that situation, in that role, that's big. That's huge. So good on the Texans, good on Case.
Something I haven't really thought about, but you know, in the Texans locker room, we have the Minneapolis Miracle. We have the two main pieces.
We do. Yeah. I've thought about that because I've seen Case and Stephon kind of joke around a little bit and practice and all that, and I'm like, they had a good year in Minnesota together.
They sure did. They had one of the craziest things we've ever seen in football. You know, they did that together.
I mean, they have that piece of history for themselves. Like they created that piece of history. So that's that right there. I bet you the relationship off the rip is great. You know,
dude. So they're outside the Viking Stadium. There should be a statue of Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs.
Should be.
There should be like a really cool.
Yeah, maybe put them like kind of. This is a good idea. I don't know why no one's ever thought of this. A quarterback statue, like. You know, like imagine Eli Manning statue at Giants at Metfield or MetLife.
Yeah.
And then down there is David Tyree catching the ball.
Yeah. Like on different ends of the stadium, but the same like distance.
Yeah, and it's like he like threw it to him and he caught it. And I'm like, that's a good idea.
That is a really good idea.
Yeah, no one's ever thought of it.
We should make a call about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, guys. But yeah, good on Case, you know, good on the Texans for being classy. One thing that we were talking about the past episodes, running backs. Running back room, we were wondering what was going to happen with that. Noah, are you surprised by the final running backs room? I'm surprised by a few things.
So I'm not surprised Dameon Pierce made the team at all because obviously Pierce is a guy that's very well connected and you know, known as, you know, a Texan. So it makes sense we didn't give up on him so like that quickly. But there was a world where I was like, maybe Pierce isn't on this team. And obviously he is. But he's got about, and I mean, I don't even want to say 4 weeks. I think he has maybe 2 or 3 weeks to be like, to really, starting in week 1, to show what he has. Because because I think maybe, you know, D'Amico talked about in the preseason, you know, where it's a small sample size for Pierce. The blocking wasn't what they wanted it to be, this and that. But there is no excuse by week 3 or 4 to be like, look, if Pierce is going to get it done, it's got to happen soon. So I think they want to see what he's got, but I think his leash for that RB2 position is short. I think he's going to be on a short leash, and I think Cam Akers is there really just nipping at his heels, and obviously Akers ends up making the team. We all assumed that was going to happen. He had an incredible preseason, and he's definitely a guy who has RB2 potential. So, you know, Pierce has got to really, really show out, or his job is going to be taken.
Yeah, no. In all honesty, I don't even know if he will be RB2 right off the bat. You know, I think maybe because they were kind of mixing him in as kick returner last year, return specialist. And not punt returner, but I feel like that might belong to Steven Sims right now. Who also made the team. That's probably going to belong to Steven Sims, but I can just see him as like having him as a kickoff return specialist, you know, something like that. I don't know. We'll see, because I kind of like I was more leaning to I don't think Pierce is gonna last. I don't think he's gonna last these final cuts. I feel like he's, you know, a player in his 3rd year who looks worse and worse from each season,
especially
that's not a good sign for a low draft pick. You know?
Exactly.
Not a good sign. So,
especially at running back, because we can see ups and downs in other positions where that comeback or the, you know, they can get back to form pretty easily. But the running back position, especially in the modern NFL, is so volatile. And it's like we see guys who have one good year. We see guys like Todd Gurley who were like the top of the world, maybe the best running back in football, and then all of a sudden, nothing. So, and that's a Todd Gurley. A guy like Pierce who had one solid year, and then since then hasn't been close. I mean, yeah, the leash is really short, and so I like Damian a lot, and I really hope he figures it out. And I do think, to your point, having Damian Pierce just mainly returning the kickoffs in the new kickoff, whatever we're calling it, the new kickoff rules
format, whatever.
format, like I think that really works for him. And so, I mean, I think ideally, I think he would thrive in that position. I do think starting the season though, he's going to be getting more snaps than Akers. I do, because I just think that's kind of how it goes. That's what happened last year with Singletary. Singletary started out RB2. After a few weeks, it was obvious that Devin was the superior back in the room. And so I think they're going to give Pierce all the chances he can get. And if he's showing out, then we all win, right? That's a win for everybody. And then also, if he's not, then get Akers there, get him more snaps, and see what he does with it.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that happening. I can definitely see right off the bat, Damian is RB2, and maybe we won't even be seeing them that much. Maybe they're kind of RB2, RB3 will be getting a split. They'll getting shared shared workload, because obviously Joe Mixon is RB1. He's getting majority of the snaps. Maybe they're going to mix in, give Cam and give Damian the same amount of snaps. Maybe they'll give them all with Dari, like share it with Dari. Who knows what they have cooking up? But honestly, this running backs room is super solid, with Joe Mixon, Cam Akers, Damian Pierce, Dari Ugabawale. Pretty solid. So it's good to see guys with different skill sets and different talents in the RB room.
I'm happy Dari ended up making the team.
Yeah. I mean, he's so versatile on special teams, of course. And then a big surprise for me, I wanted this to happen, but it came at a cost, is British Brooks making the team.
Yeah.
He looked awesome. Awesome name. Great story. We were talking about it off camera.
Yeah.
But it comes at a cost. Andrew Beck from last year, our fullback from last year, was cut. He's not on the team anymore. So it's looking like British Brooks is going to be the team's the team's fullback right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm surprised by that.
I'm absolutely surprised by that, because Andrew Beck was, not that he was the most productive last year or anything like that, but he did make some huge plays. I mean, obviously, week 3 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, returning that kick was the record setting.
It's kind of an anomaly. It was kind of an
anomaly.
Is.
Yeah, absolutely. It was crazy that it happened, and he was the heaviest player ever to return a kick for a touchdown, and he was just a fun guy to have around, it seemed like. And he would catch some passes out of the backfield every now and then, whatever. We'd see him around, but it was just kind of assumed that Andrew Beck was going to be the team's fullback. But British Brooks comes out of nowhere from UNC, a guy who was a walk-on in college, wasn't recruited coming out of high school. I mean, maybe was recruited a little bit, but wasn't a big name. Had to really work for a spot. Had to will a spot on his college team, and then played there and was successful for I think he was there for like 5 years or something like that. He played 24. In college. Yeah. He was in college a long time. And then after college, he was like, I don't know if I'm going to play football anymore. Tries to give it a shot in the NFL. Can't make a team. Can't find a spot anywhere. And then he's, before coming to Texans camp, was like talking about how he was really in some dark times and loved football and didn't know how to do anything else, and was kind of like, I don't know what my place is in this world. I'm going to go to Texans training camp as an undrafted free agent, going to see what I can do. Comes in at the lowest possible, position on the depth chart and works his ass off, performs well in the preseason, and now he's got a spot in the 53-man roster and is the starting fullback for the Houston Texans. That's an incredible story.
Incredible story, and I'm very happy for him. Very happy that they're giving him this shot, because he's in preseason he earned it. He showed a lot of explosiveness, a lot of they even had him line up as fullback quite a bit, and he was laying wood. He was making blocks. I think maybe he just had that hungry attitude of like, well, I need to be able to do everything to have the best abilities, availability. If they need me to be a fullback, and they need me to be on special teams, if they need me to be a tight end, maybe, I don't know, with this crazy offense, who knows? He was like, I can do it. I will be there. And that kind of mentality got him hooked up with a with a gig on a NFL roster. So
Yeah.
congrats to British Brooks.
It,
Awesome name.
it is
Awesome
a
fullback.
really good name.
It's British Brooks as
yeah.
our fullback. The
Yeah.
fullback, dude. I mean, last time we had a cool fullback with a cool name, and he was just cool. It was Vontae Leach, and he's wearing the same number as Vontae Leach. So.
Yeah. Who was that fullback? That white dude?
Jay Prosh.
Jay Prosh.
Yeah.
I like Jay Prosh.
But Vontae was just
Vontae was way better. But also Jay was just kind of fun. He was just one of those.
He was
fun. A classic fullback.
Fullbacks are fun, and we're about to have a fullback that can run like a 4.5.
Well, that's the thing. And that's really what helped British a lot make the team. It's kind of weird to say just British. Like it's like doesn't seem like that makes any sense. But what Brooks did is he's just more athletic, right? He's faster and quicker and I don't know about stronger, but he's just more high octane, I guess, than Andrew Beck. He offers more. He offers more offensively when it comes to planning and scheming against defenses, and he can be used more than Andrew Beck. He's just quicker, and he's just more explosive. I feel like so.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see about the size. We'll see about his size because he seems a little undersized for a fullback. But if he's making blocks, I don't
exactly. But if he's blocking and he's handling these, these linebackers and defensive ends that are coming at Pookie CJ. Then
here's a dealio. Imagine he lines up as a fullback. We have Mixon over here. Play action to Mixon. We roll out over here. Look who's in the flats for a screen. That's British Brooks. British Brooks taking a screen front, lining up as a fullback. That could be a dangerous little play that we have in our little pocketbook. So,
yeah, absolutely.
That's the shit I'm thinking about. That gets me harder than a Georgia Pine.
Yeah, brother. So, I mean, I know Slowick's foaming at the mouth over what he can do with British Brooks. What Slowick's going to do with Brooks is probably going to be really fun to watch and probably really inventive. And that's thing Slowick is so good about doing. But no, I'm really happy for him. Happy he made the team. It's going to be exciting to see what they do with him. In the running back room, Mixon, Pierce, Akers, Dari, and British. Hey, man, that's
solid.
It's probably one of the weakest points on the team, but that's not saying anything bad about the running back room. That just kind of speaks to how stacked the rest of the team is.
Yeah,
but
I think I feel like there's maybe one positional group that I might have the biggest problem with a little bit. We'll get to it. And we'll start to speed it along a little bit. But receivers, top 3 receivers, obviously that's no surprise. But we've been talking about who else other receivers are going to make it. And Metchie, John Metchie, made it. He heard the chatter. He made it. He kind of started cooking a little bit, and he forced our hand. So Metchie is on the 53 man roster. Xavier Hutchinson, which that's not a surprise to me that we were using him in different ways in preseason. I can tell we really like Hutch. So he made it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Robert Woods make it?
Robert Woods made the team. Steven Sims is the other receiver that closes out the wide receiver room.
That's right. Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean Robert Woods making it. So I'll touch on Metchie in a moment. I did not think Robert Woods was going to make this team. I really didn't, and I understand why he did, and I'm happy that he did because he's still a talented receiver. And before CJ Stroud kind of figured out how easy the NFL could be in week 3, weeks 1 and 2 when we were struggling, he was really going to Woods a lot. Yeah, like he was going to Woods more than guys like Nico or Tank, and so Woods is a guy who obviously has a good relationship, is a strong veteran presence, and having Robert Woods and Stephon Diggs both in the same wide receiver room with all these young guys that is a well of knowledge that they can tap into whenever they want.
Yeah, and one guy, I mean, maybe Robert Woods can't be the guy he once was in LA and Buffalo, but Stephon surely is the same guy as he was the past 5 seasons. So, you have 2 veterans, one who is elite, one who is a safety blanket, a possession receiver. Mm-hmm. I feel like Robert Woods does have a good place on this team. He's a swell place. We love his leadership. We love his veteranship. Yeah. So, and if we cut him, we save a few million in cap. Yeah. So there's obviously we're we're taking the money. We're paying him the money because we want him. So
they see his worth. They see his worth somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so I love to see that. I love to see Robert on this team. I'm happy he's here. I'm happy Steven Sims is here. I'm happy Hutch is here, and I'm so happy Metchie's here. Metchie, because we have been talking about Metchie maybe not making this team, and that never came out of a place of not wanting him on the team. I want Metchie on this team, but it was getting to a point where it was looking like at some point we have to kind of cut our loss a little bit and let him go figure something out somewhere else. Yeah, I guess not, because he didn't. He turned it on in the last 2 preseason games, and that's what we said he needed to do, and he did. And so I guess they saw enough, and Metchie's here to stay.
It also came at a cost. Well, in my opinion, not really, but Noah Brown was cut after signing a 1-year deal in the offseason.
Yeah.
But here's the dealio. Last year, he was unavailable a lot of the time due to injury. I have not seen him a lot during this camp, this preseason.
He hasn't really
he's gone. He's gone. He's ghosted us. He ghosted us. So, I mean, that, like I said earlier, the best ability is availability.
Yeah.
John Metchie has been everywhere in camp, everywhere in the preseason. I have not seen Noah Brown, so I feel like that was an easy choice for the Texans to make. Keeping Metchie on and letting Noah Brown go, and I support it, because last year everyone was like Noah Brown, but I'm like, I think he's a product of CJ Stroud. I think he's a CJ Stroud merchant. And when he's injured, he's gone. He's not there.
I mean, I liked Noah. Last year specifically, and you're right, it was a lot of CJ's magic. But if you go back and watch some of the plays he made some big time plays, and also he had big games when CJ was hurt. Like he had some solid games when CJ was hurt, and also Caserio mentioned this in the press conference because someone asked him about obviously having to cut Noah Brown, and Caserio was extremely upset about it. Caserio was not holding back about how hard of a decision that was, and Caserio went out of his way to say that last year there was 2 games in a row where he single-handedly won us those games. He had
single-handedly.
That's literally what Caserio said. Caserio said single-handedly won us those games.
I feel like that's just a nice thing to say about him.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. I mean, he was the only receiver catching shit, to be honest.
Also, CJ Stroud threw 470 yards against the Bucs.
Well, I know, but
I feel like he didn't single-handedly.
No, but I'm not talking about the Bengals. I'm not talking about the Bucs. I'm talking about the Bengals game, and there was another one after that. And I think that's that game.
I think the Titans game when
exactly. And so there was a lot of games where Noah Brown came up really big for us. And so it does. I get why he's not on the team, and it sucks that he was hurt. But if he was healthy, he'd be on this team. If he was healthy, I think Woods isn't on this team.
Maybe I would just much rather have Metchie and Hutch over him, and that's why I'm like I good times with Noah Brown last season. I like his name, good name. It's the name of my co-host.
Hey,
but
thanks.
After when I saw him cut and then Metchie and Hutch make it, and even Robert Woods, I was like, okay, he can find another team somewhere else.
No, he's gonna go somewhere else, and he'll perform. I mean, you might not have a quarterback as good as CJ Stroud wherever he goes, so we'll see how that ends up. But
he could go to the Chiefs.
He could go to the Chiefs. That's a good point.
And then when he
could go to the Dolphins, I could see him going to the Dolphins.
Maybe.
Yeah, but maybe. I mean, yes. So at the end of the day, I'm happy Hutch and Metch made it over Noah Brown. But if Noah Brown was healthy, he is a weapon to have. So somebody go pick him up and have fun with that, and he'll be solid. He'll be solid.
He will win you some games single-handedly. So
he had 325 yards in 2 weeks last year.
Solid.
That's insane.
Super solid.
Yeah.
Good on the receivers that made the team. Good for Hutch. Good for Metchie. All them. Offensive line. I really don't have a lot of thoughts and comments.
Yeah.
I kind of knew. We obviously knew who was going to be making it, not making it. Kind of. Yeah. The starters. We know who the starters are going to be. So, yeah. Well, as far as surprises go, not really any surprises in my opinion. I'm not surprised by anything from the offensive line.
No.
Defensive line as well. As far as like the defensive tackles, I was looking at defensive tackles. We'll see.
Yeah.
without Denico Autry, we'll see what's going on with that.
They've been really good in camp.
They've been good, but I also think that D'Amico Ryan just knows how to make a really good offensive line. So
yeah, Mario Edwards and Foley or Fuller Nuso.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Both of them have had great camps and have looked
also
really
Marcus
solid.
Harris. Marcus Harris has had a great.
Yep.
I think Marcus Harris is going to be a steal in the draft, and maybe right off the rip, he's a impactful starter.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows?
And Derek Barnett's still here. Like we got some
Khalil Davis. Khalil Davis.
Jerry Hughes is still here.
Which that surprised me. I was like, wait, I didn't even know Jerry Hughes was on our team.
Dude, Jerry Hughes is just old as all get out, but is just still consistently solid. Like I love that guy, and I remember when we signed him a couple years ago. I was like, "Who the fuck's this guy?" And he comes out and has like 10 sacks. Like,
I was like, okay, yeah. Well, I knew him from Buffalo, and I was like, all right, well, I mean, we suck, so. But he was a fun player, so. Hey, I'll take Jerry Hughes. He's a veteran, and he can still probably get in there in a few third downs and mess things up a little bit, and make things messy for an offense. Who knows?
Yep.
But no real surprises on the defensive line. Denico Autry will be missed for 6 weeks. I can't wait to get him back. So
I can't wait to see that.
We'll be waiting for him. Linebackers. Christian Harris has been put on IR. I'm not sure for how long. I thought maybe he was going to be ready for week 1.
Yeah. So we won't see Christian Harris at least until week 4. But that's kind of what it's looking like. And then theoretically in 4 weeks, 5 weeks at this point, he should be ready to go. But unless it's something,
hope so.
Yeah, it would be a real bummer if he missed more time.
Because obviously we have Aziz starting, but next to him, it's like I think Henry To'oTo'o right now is slated as the starter next to Aziz, which I love Henry To'oTo'o. I think he's a great guy. Obviously, pretty talented in the run game. Last year, he did struggle in coverage. So we'll see if he's better at that. We also have guys like Neville Hewitt, who's great. He's a great player, great special teams player. Let's see what he can do. I'm not sure who's after him. I'm not sure.
Neville. So the linebackers who made the team are Aziz, Henry, Neville, Jake Hansen, Jamal Hill, the rookie, Delshon Phillips. So obviously Henry can step up, but you're right. Also, I think Neville will be able to slide in there. I think I would love to see some Jamal Hill action too. I'd love to see the rookie out there,
fast, athletic. I want to see some athleticism, which I feel like that's what Christian Harris and Aziz are for. Having two athletic ass linebackers in the middle. But I like to see them kind of like just rotate them in and out. See who is like showing out because last year Blake Cashman came out of nowhere and was a dog. Of course. So who knows who in this defense who's gonna be a dog, who's not gonna be a dog. I feel like maybe all of them in different situations will be dogs. Yeah. So we'll see. That's probably my biggest question mark right now is other than Aziz, is there another starting linebacker other than Christian who can replace Christian Harris for 4 weeks? Hopefully Christian Harris can be back by week 5. I hope. That'd be great. Yeah, that's my biggest question mark on the team right now.
I agree. I think I agree. And I also think Aziz is incredible, and I think he can do a pretty damn good job of holding down that position in that area for the most part. I think a guy like Henry can just kind of come in and kind of help him out as much as possible. But it's going to be really great whenever Christian can get back. And it's a huge bummer because he ended the season on such a high. After that Browns game and everyone was talking, and it just kind of one of those guys we were excited to see week 1. But, he'll get back out there. And I say this every episode, but I trust D'Amico to put someone there who's going to fill the void as best as possible. And if he thinks any of these guys who ended up making the team, if he thinks they should be here, then obviously they got something.
Yeah, no, and we know how good this coaching staff is. So they're going to be able to get talent wherever. Yeah, we're going to be able to milk all the talent out of some player. So, I'm excited to see that and how that goes week 1.
Me too. We'll talk about the corners real quick.
Yeah, because I'm looking at our cornerback group compared to last year. Pretty night and day. Yeah, like our backup corner this year is Jeff Okudah, who was a solid starter for Atlanta last year. Yeah, I'll take that all day. I'll take that all day, baby. Mm-hmm. And from what we're hearing and seeing, Kamari Lassiter is a day one starter and he is a dog. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, he is doing everything that he did at Georgia.
Yeah.
He is covering receivers. He's just athletic. He's physical. He's not and people don't throw it to him. So
yeah.
I mean, if he is kind of locked down with Derek Stingley, this cornerback group has potential to be one of the best in the NFL. I mean, Stingley might be the best corner in the NFL, and then Lassiter is a really good starter. Is it Legion of Boom? I don't know.
with Jeff Okudah as a backup, with a guy who's going to come in and you know, when Lassiter is tired, needs a break, then Okudah comes in, and vice versa with everyone else. Like that's incredible. And if you think about
it's good.
You think about it: Jalen Petrie, Jimmy Ward, Derek Stingley, Kamari Lassiter, Jeff Okudah supporting, even a guy like Kalen Bullock coming in and supporting whenever he needs to. I don't know. Eric Murray coming in and I don't know how you.
Well, I could see situations where Jalen Petrie comes in as the nickel corner, and then we have, you know, a high safety Jimmy Ward, or maybe we have two safeties with Jimmy Ward and Kalen Bullock, who was getting reps at ones with the ones. So
Kalen is the guy who's going to come in, and I think he's going to make some plays this year. I made this prediction a few episodes ago, but I think Kalen Bullock by the end of the season will be pretty. I'm not that he's going to end up being a starter, but I think he's going to be contributing a lot and getting a good amount of play time. And so I can't wait to see that. And our defensive backs, just a whole group. Jalen Petrie, Jeff Okudah, Kamari Lassiter, Chris Boyd, Jimmy Ward, Eric Murray, Derek Stingley, MJ Stewart, Miles Bryant, and Kalen Bullock. I can't ask for more than that.
That's a great positional group two good positional groups with safety and corner. I'm so glad that we have Kalen Bullock because I was thinking safety was a little thin, but now that Jalen Petrie looks like he's maybe going to be at a Pro Bowl level again. You know, I mean, just good luck facing the pass rush and throwing it to a bunch of dogs, it to the dogs. So that corners, safeties, great across the board.
Yeah.
God, our roster's stacked. Our roster's so stacked.
It's obviously
we have like this, you know, the special teams specialists, you know, Emy's back, obviously one of the best kickers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Tommy Townsend as a punter. I mean, last year, who was Cameron Johnson? Cameron Johnson was a fine punter. Tommy Townsend is an all-pro punter. He was booming that bitch. He was booming that bitch in the preseason. So, I mean, we just seems like wherever we were kind of weak or not that good in last year, we got better in it this year. I mean, like last year was like Devin Singletary, upgrade him with Joe Mixon, you know. Oh, last year's Steven Nelson, upgrade him with Kamari Lassiter.
Yep.
Last year it was Jonathan Grenard, upgrade him with Daniil Hunter.
Yeah,
you know? So
exactly.
we were just upgrading. We just kind of upgraded at
We upgraded Noah Brown to Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
we were doing the damn thing in the offseason, and now it's just like, okay, so I'm looking at our 53-man roster, and we're stacked on paper. We're a stacked ass team, dude.
Yeah, just an incredible team, one of the most powerful teams in the NFL, forced to be reckoned with in the AFC. I don't know. I've seen that people put the Texans as high as 4 or 5 in power rankings. I've seen people put us at 10. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how the league reacts to because I don't think people quite understand. I think people know CJ Stroud is special. I think people know we had a good offseason. I think people know DeMeco Ryans is a good coach. I don't think people truly grasp what we have here.
Yeah, and you know, maybe I get it because we still need to be able to prove that we can beat teams like the Ravens and the Chiefs and, you know, even like the Bills and all that. We still need to prove that we're a powerhouse in the AFC.
Yeah.
But you just cannot deny that we've had a winning off. We possibly had an A+, one of the best off seasons a team could have had this past off season with everything we got last year.
Yeah.
We did it again. We had this offseason may arguably be better than last offseason.
Yeah.
And we got our franchise last offseason. So I don't know. I mean, we upgraded
at so many positions. And Will Anderson. Yeah.
We upgraded at so many positions. And what you just can't deny that looking at us on paper, there's no reason to believe that this team ain't a Super Bowl contender. No
No.
reason to believe that at all. So
yeah, absolutely. Should absolutely be in everyone's Super Bowl contender board. Should be someone people, probably top 4 teams to make the Super Bowl. And it's been an insane turnaround, and we're getting close, man. We're almost there. I can't believe it. But all right, well, let's wrap this one up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Lets us know you like what we're doing. Helps us out a lot. Garrett, go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor.
Well, today, as of recording Thursday, August, 2024, college football week 1 is here. It's this weekend. We are back with football full swing ahead. College football this weekend, NFL football next week. What you should do during these times is go to Big City Wings, Apollo's Wing Joint, Houston's Wing Joint. It's the best place to watch a football game. Go sit at the bar, go to the marquee location, sit at the bar, order a few tall ones, have a few fried appetizers, just sit there all day watching football. I've done that a few times. I'm going to be doing it this weekend. So thank you, Big City Wings, for powering this episode Off the Gridiron, and watch some football there, man. It's the best.
Go watch football over at Big City Wings. It's such a fun environment to watch sports, any sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
WWE, like they have a good time over there. So it's the best. Yeah. So all right, guys. Other than that, thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you later.
Watch Texans. Go Texans.